Blue Ribbon, Gateway Buick GMC, Kings Court on 590 The Man.
Yes, you most certainly are. Kevin Slaten with you in the Pabst Blue Ribbon, Gateway Buick GMC, Kings Court. An ice cold PBR would go down real nicely right now in the middle of all this rain and craziness. Folks, it's the best tasting beer, and it's the best priced beer. And those aren't my opinions. The latter is a fact. The former has been decided by international beer tasting competitions worldwide with blind taste testing panels made up of brewmasters and the general public. And they've all come to the same conclusion. Pabst Blue Ribbon is the best. So they keep awarding Pabst Blue Ribbon gold medals, silver medals, and bronze medals in every competition worldwide. It's the American original since 1844, the original red, white, and blue. The only beer that has as its logo an award-winning ribbon, and rightly so, and that's Pabst Blue Ribbon. Now, we all drank it in college because of the price. We didn't know we were drinking the best tasting beer. But I ask you to do this with an open mind. Don't pay attention to the local propaganda from beer companies. Go ahead and put down whatever beer you're drinking and try Pabst Blue Ribbon for 2 weeks with an open mind. I think you'll find what I found. Best tasting beer around. I guarantee you'll have more money at the end of that 2 weeks. 314-399-8923 is our number if you want to join in the fun. Now, the big story that went around earlier today was people in the media, including ESPN and everywhere else, Yahoo, ESPN, falling all over themselves to say how wonderful Miguel Cabrera is, because when Max Scherzer went around through the Tiger locker room for the players to sign this sheet that makes them eligible for their playoff bonus, and last year the Red Sox got the winner's share of $307,000 a player, Cabrera said, I'm not interested in anything except the ring. So Scherzer, being the mercenary that he is, says, okay, that means more for us. Pretty odd comment for a guy making about $15 million a year and standing to make more, but we found out what a mercenary Scherzer was last year when he turned down around $150 to $60 million. That wasn't enough for him. So now a source comes out of the Detroit clubhouse that says Cabrera was just joking with his teammates when he said that, and he's expected to sign the necessary forms and get his postseason bonus money. Now, if you're Cabrera, true or not, wouldn't you just go ahead, sign your paperwork, get your postseason bonus, and donate it to charity since you make $292 million over 10 years? Wouldn't you? He's not commenting now. He's getting ready for the game, so we're left with inaccurate reporting. As I said earlier, don't throw hosannas Cabrera's way. That's not really a big deal. That would be tantamount to somebody that you know worth hundreds of millions of dollars saying, you know what, I don't need a bonus. Are we going to praise them for that? But the smart thing to do would give it to a charity. Wouldn't that be the smart thing if you're Miguel Cabrera? Of course it would be. No doubt about it. And, of course, we've got Carmelo Anthony keeping us safe. If we had ever thought that professional athletes are idiots, for the most part, not Miguel Cabrera, but Carmelo Anthony has proven to us that, yeah, they still are. We can still count on most of them being arrogant, pompous asses, and Carmelo Anthony's at the top of that list. Here's a guy whose playoff success has been zip, mouthing off for some unknown reason, saying he's the most underrated superstar out there. Then he says it doesn't matter to him if people don't give him credit. He doesn't get the respect he deserves. The man is making hundreds of millions of dollars, but he says he's not getting the respect he deserves. Even though he's made the playoffs on his team in 10 of the last 11 seasons, advanced past the second round just once. He doesn't like that people think LeBron James and Kevin Durant are considered better. He goes on to complain about it and then says it doesn't bother me. Of course it bothers him. But I love that he says he's an underrated superstar, meaning he's telling everybody he's a superstar.
I'm sorry, who did you say you were?
Carmelo Anthony. Who? Carmelo Anthony. The most underrated superstar. I love these guys. These basketball players, they're peaches, aren't they? Nope, they're not. They're not at all. How about Rich Gannon? Now, Rich Gannon won the NFL's MVP award playing for the Raiders back when last time they were actually good, which was a decade ago. Took them to their last Super Bowl, though his team was swamped by Tampa Bay. But he laid into his former team. He doesn't like what he sees. And, in fact, not only does he not like what he sees, but he even considers it to be stealing. And you think, well, okay, he probably thinks that's the players. But no. He's talking about everybody in the building is stealing money. Give your checks back, he said. They're 0-4. They've lost 10 in a row. People out in Oakland in that building, players, coaches, front office, people in business, accounting, they're stealing. They ought to give the check back. When you lose like that, how can you go to the bank and cash that check? You should be embarrassed. They're stealing. That's a problem. They have a sign in front of their building that says commitment to excellence. They ought to take it down. It's false advertising. It should say good. Commitment to mediocrity. It's a culture and environment that has existed there for years. You let things slide. You don't pay attention to detail. You don't have a high degree of professionalism and accounting in that building. That's a problem.
Dude, you suck.
He's pretty much saying that. Raiders fans have to be sick to their stomach. I have them calling me saying, hey, we're going to win 12 and beat Denver. Yeah, right. They're not going to beat anybody. Of course, Gannon, like every other former athlete who gets a microphone in his face and says the truth, then they quickly backtrack from the truth. So Gannon sends a note out on Twitter saying, lost myself in my Raider rant yesterday. Pains me to see the team struggle. They do have some good people who care about winning.
Does someone need a hug?
Yeah, now you just have no respect for Rich Gannon. Does any one of these guys have the spine they were born with? When you say something, stand by it.
Kiss my ass.
Now, when they say kiss my ass, the next day they say, I didn't mean to kiss my ass. I meant something else, far, far less provocative.
What happened? I blacked out.
Apparently that they all do. As soon as they say something, then they quickly take it back because of the society we live in. Oh, I didn't really say that, did I? People are criticizing me. I better stop it. I better take it back. No, they've got some people that want to win. Who? You said all of them. Secretaries and everybody else. You said they're all stealing. I like the boldness of his statement. I don't like the candy-ass retraction. 314-399-8923. What do you think of that? It's a little bizarre. If you start thinking that professional athletes are, getting smarter because they go to college, especially football players, not that they ever attend a class, but anyway, a lot of them come out of there to the NFL. And here we think Russell Wilson is a poster boy for everything that's good, wouldn't you? So he takes to, and every time these guys start writing or opening their mouths, things go awry. He's writing for a new website called theplayerstribune.com. Now, this is part of the website that Derek Jeter has opened as a business. Here's what, now, this guy Wilson has a crystal clean image. He's getting endorsements and everything after his wonderful season winning the Super Bowl last year. He seems to be scrubbed perfectly clean. Then he opens his mouth. He says, this is what he wrote. I used to beat people up. Truthfully, I used to beat people up a lot. Many of you readers don't probably think I'm a Mr. Goody Two-Shoes my whole life, but I was a bully growing up. In elementary and middle school, I threw kids against the wall, rubbed their heads in the dirt at recess. I bit them. I even knocked their teeth out. What point was there to say that?
So I got that point.
I had a lot of anger I didn't know what to do with. Thankfully, I was saved by my faith when I was 14 and was able to start living for others instead of just myself. But
did you have a question?
What's the point? Here's my question. What's the point of just destroying your image since you love to get these endorsements that you get. It's unbelievable. And he acts as though this is somehow his way of trying to combat domestic violence. Really? Admitting that you were knocking people's teeth out and rubbing their head in the dirt when you were a kid? It's bizarre. Just bizarre. Tony's up. Hello, Tony. How are you?
Hey, Kevin. Good show. I just came on, so I don't know if you've answered this or not already, but two things. One, is there anything, nobody's been able to answer this yet. It's pretty much a foregone conclusion. The Rams are gone, April, May, something like that will be announced. Agree?
I don't think I agree with that. I really don't.
And now my question is, what, if anything, is a benefit to Stan Kroenke staying here as opposed to leaving for Los Angeles?
Well, first of all, he can't just leave for Los Angeles. The NFL owners have to approve that, and you've got two other teams that want in on Los Angeles, San Diego and Oakland. So there'll be a battle there. I tend to believe the NFL will take two teams in Los Angeles.
And one of them will be the Rams.
I don't think so.
His buddy's building that stadium, I thought, that was just announced recently. Seems like it's kind of paving the way for him.
Nobody's building a stadium out there. They haven't so much as dug any dirt out there.
So then what's the benefit to Kroenke of staying in St. Louis?
There is not a benefit necessarily, but he doesn't have the permission to go. So until he gets that, then you can examine whether the benefit is there or not. The standing fee to move a team is, I believe, $1 billion or $2 billion. There's a huge relocation fee involved. It'll take a long time to make that money back if he moves out there from here. Now, once he gets out there, how much more money can he get out of the stadium out there and out of being in that market than he can in St. Louis? That's the question.
Probably a lot in advertising and ticket sales. The cost of living is much higher out there, so it's all his business will double, triple probably.
How does his business double? How does his business double or triple? He'll get the exact same amount of – wait, hold on. He'll get the exact same amount of television revenue that he gets now. He'll sell no more – he won't sell any more tickets out there. He may be able to raise the price of – he may be able to raise the price of the tickets, but you can't raise it that high. And so from an advertising standpoint, he'll sell – the similar amount of ads in-house in the stadium. He might be able to gain more revenue from them. Maybe not, though. See, in-stadium revenues are the key here. I don't think he can make much more money in the stadium. I don't know. I'm not an economist, but I'm wondering how. The LA TV market is much bigger, but that doesn't benefit him because he gets the same cut of the TV money as he does here. Now, he'll get more money for radio. He'll get more money for radio rights, no doubt about it, but not an astronomical amount because everybody watches these games. They rarely listen to them unless they're in their car.
Right.
So when you add in that huge relocation fee, I don't know. I mean, he thinks probably it will benefit him. I don't know.
And then the other part is, and then I'll let you go. Good show is. Do you have a prediction, or have you made a statement of Dodgers in 3 or Cardinals in 4 or Dodgers in 5? If you stated that, if not, would you, please?
No, I picked the Dodgers to win the series. I never want to pick games because that's just somebody acting like they know what they're talking about. I just think the Dodgers will win the series. I don't think Kershaw will be hit around like he was last year in that 6th game. He was pitching on short rest. So I guess these guys just can't do it on short rest. Yeah, and if he pitched twice against them this year. He dominated them in the game in L.A., and the game here, not so much. I mean, the Dodgers lost, I think it was 3-2, so he wasn't bombed around. But he'll pitch both games in L.A. in this series if it goes 5 games.
Right. And if he does what they did to him, we went to the game Sunday. He just killed the Cardinals 6-1 out there, I think it was. And if Ryu, I think, is also a key. If that guy's all of a sudden healthy and able to pitch, that could easily spell lights out for the Cardinals if they even get the Kershaw.
Yeah, I agree with you. If Ryu's not healthy and they have to pitch somebody like Danny Herron, all bets are off in Game 3. But
Right.
7 innings of shutout baseball Kershaw threw in L.A. against the Cardinals and struck out 13 earlier this year.
Right. All right, have a good day.
All right, thanks, Tony. I appreciate the call. Yeah, I don't know. Now, maybe I'm missing something on the move of the Rams to L.A. You'll get a new stadium, yes, but can that stadium create that much more revenue? I mean, as far as I know, the suites are all sold out here. Could you charge more in Los Angeles? I don't know. Probably. So let's say he'd make a few million more in Los Angeles than he does here. Even 10 million. Is he going to make 10 million a year more? Even if he does. 10 million a year more. If he has to pay a $1 or $2 billion relocation fee, do the math. It's going to take a long time to get that back. He better be making 100 million more. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. The NFL seems very happy to leave that market open. I don't know why. Of course, we know that it's led to different stadiums being built in cities all over the country because the NFL teams use LA as an extortion gambit. With teams there, they won't be able to do that anymore. So you can say adios to any new stadiums if they get teams in LA. But, who knows? I do not believe it's a foregone conclusion the Rams are going to go. And I don't believe Stan Kroenke owes us an answer or an explanation. All right, we're going to take a break. This is the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court live from the Tilted Kilt in St. Charles. Back after this.
Monday Night Football comes to St. Louis October 13th as our Rams take on the 49ers. The Miller Coors Tailgate Party will kick off in the north lot of the Dome at 4:30 and rock on until game time at 7:30. Cheap beer products, great food, and music. Proceeds from the sales going to help our troops through the USO of Missouri. Come join the fun and get primed for the game. Presented by Miller Coors, the USO of Missouri, AM 590 and 1380, as well as MLM Law Firm, Paul Cerami Kia Ford, Max Muscle Supplement Superstore of Brentwood, and Mastermind Vodka. Hot Shots in Arnold and now Webster Groves is the place for all the games all the time. Hot Shots in Arnold and Webster Groves is your place for all your upcoming NFL action and, of course, our Redbirds. NASCAR is in full swing, and now is the time to form your fantasy football leagues, and Hot Shots is the perfect meeting place. Hot Shots has the best food and drink specials to make the games as fun as being there. Looking for a perfect place for lunch? Well, Hot Shots will get you in and back to work fast after a fantastic lunch. Get caught up on your sports while you have a great view of the beautiful servers as well as the games. It's always a party every day at Hot Shots in Arnold and Webster Groves. Hot Shots gives you every reason to hang out and enjoy yourself with golden tea, bags, beer pong, foosball, darts, and all kinds of other games. Hot Shots in Arnold and Webster Groves has the game on 30 large HD TVs and the massive 105-inch screen, so you always have the best view. Hot Shots in Webster Groves at Watson and Laclede Station Road. Hot Shots in Arnold is at 131 Arnold Crossroads Center, close to 55 and Jeffco Roads. Hot Shots in Arnold or Webster Groves, all the games, all the time.
In the sports world, a good offense starts with a good defense. The professionals at Lakeside Roofing believe in this same motto for your roof. Our full-time service department provides the defense to ensure that you get the most out of your roof system. A regular schedule of roof assessment and maintenance will ensure that your roof will hold up to harsh environment, particularly spring wind and hail, as well as the overall aging process. Included in the inspection is a personalized preventive maintenance program specific to your roof system. This defensive strategy can extend the life of your commercial or residential roof for many years. Choose the winning team of professionals at Lakeside Roofing. We're a family-owned business that has built a solid reputation for excellent service from the initial call to the completed job. Call us today at 618-344-2800 or 314-241-5253 or visit us on the web at lakesideroofing.com. That's lakesideroofing.com. Choose experience. Choose Lakeside.
Did you know October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month? 24 people per minute experience this type of violence in the U.S. Safe Connections is here to help. We offer free, specialized counseling and support groups to those hurt by abuse or rape. Call for an assessment today at 314-646-7500, extension 118. Again, that's 646-7500, extension 118. For 24-hour support, call our crisis helpline at 314-531-2003.
If you're looking to get motivated and in shape, check out the Pink Muscle Fest at the St. Charles Convention Center Saturday, October 4th to benefit breast cancer research and awareness. You will see the most fit people in the area compete in many different classes, which will motivate and entertain you all at the same time. The Pink Muscle Show has pre-judging at 10 a.m. and the final start at 6. This is a national physique qualifier, so the level of competitors in each category will be amazing. Tickets available at the door or check out their Facebook page, Pink Muscle Fest. You will see bodybuilding, fitness, figure, physique, bikini classes, along with masters teams, plus wheelchair. The commitment and level of fitness will amaze, motivate, and have you wanting more, all while benefiting breast cancer research and awareness. The Pink Muscle Fest is at the St. Charles Convention Center, Saturday, October 4th. Don't miss it.
This is Dr. Eddie Weller
and Lisa Jenkins,
host of Getting Weller. Join us Saturday at noon on AM 590 as we help you jump life's hurdles. Remember, life is not about being better. It's about getting weller.
You made it way, way up here. Everybody's invited, but there's only one way up. Pinnacle Vodka. Welcome to the top. It's not velvet rope and reserved for total soup bags. You can feel it, touch it, taste it. We saved you a seat at the bar of infinite possibility. Up here, anything can happen. Pinnacle Vodka. It's more fun on top.
This is the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court on 590 The Man.
I see trouble coming here. When I'm coming to a ball, sliding down the road.
Welcome back in. Kevin Slaten with you in the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. Live from the Tilted Kilt in St. Charles. The world-famous Tilted Kilt girls are here. 45 flat-screen HD TVs are here. 2 happy hours going on now until 6, 3 to 6, and then 9 to midnight every day. And every sport you want. There's football games galore on tonight, college and NFL, and playoff baseball. You can't beat it. This is your place. And if you want to hang out at home, with all of that going on tonight, what better way to do it than to stop in at Stumpy's House of Barbecue on your way home? Order barbecue for the whole family, because you're not going to barbecue in this weather. 620 Jungerman Road in St. Peters, 636-441-7222. 636-441-7222. At Stumpy's House of Barbecue, you can dine in, you can get a carry-out, or they'll deliver. Everything is hickory smoked and slow cooked. They have barbecue plates for lunch and dinner, and each of them come with garlic bread and your choice of any 2 of the following: fries, fried corn cobettes, green beans, coleslaw, potato salad, Stumpy's beans. You can also get different extra sides: cheese fries, sweet potato fries, applesauce, cornbread, all kinds of different barbecue accessories for the most wonderful barbecue I've eaten in town. Their smoked chicken wings are the best ever. Stumpy's beans, Stumpy's fried pickles, Stumpy's nachos, they're fried green beans. They have salads, barbecue sandwiches. Their special is a barbecue sandwich. It is phenomenal. Listen to this deal you can get on the Stumpy's special sandwich. Tender pulled pork or chicken, smothered in the famous Stumpy's original barbecue sauce, and topped with their special coleslaw. Whew. 3 distinctively different sauces. Barbecue is available at Stumpy's by the pound, ribs by the half slab or full slab, chicken, the half chicken or whole chicken, and ice cold beer can go home with it. Don't cook tonight in all this bad weather. Just get Stumpy's House of Barbecue, settle in and watch all the games tonight. 620 Jungerman Road in St. Peters, 636-441-7222. All right, our lines are open always, 399-8923. And a lot of things going on over the next 48 hours with football and baseball. This is the time of year, if you're a sports fan, these next 2 weeks. You can't beat them. You just can't. Did you hear Bill Belichick's news conference today? It's kind of funny. No matter what they asked him, his answer was, we've moved on to Cincinnati. We've turned the page. We're on to Cincinnati. Do you feel like you've put enough good players and talent around Tom Brady? We've moved on to Cincinnati. Is your wife having an affair? We've moved on to Cincinnati. Now, you can say that that's a bit disingenuous and a bit LaRousse-esque, and it probably is. But Belichick has been that way all the time. It's just interesting. How about being a football fan in the state of Mississippi? Now, through the years, the state of Mississippi hasn't had much to cheer about, let's be honest. Without Archie and Eli Manning, Ole Miss is just a blip on the radar in Oxford, Mississippi, and Mississippi State even worse, in the most aptly named city in America, Starkville, Mississippi. I've been there. It's very stark. I've been to Oxford. Oxford's a much better place. The Southern Bells that are around Oxford is something to knock your socks off. But as far as winning anything, nah. If you take the Mannings out of there, even less. But this Saturday is different. This Saturday, all eyes of the college football world will be on the state of Mississippi. Now, I don't think other than civil rights violations, Mississippi's known for anything. And the Mannings. But they will be on Saturday. 4 of the nation's top 12 ranked teams will be playing in the state of Mississippi. All 4 are undefeated. It's the first time this has happened, by the way, in history. Alabama plays at Ole Miss. Texas A&M plays at Mississippi State. Now, this is the biggest day in history down there, and they love their football in the South. We know that. And they especially love it in Mississippi because there's nothing else to love. But this is what college football should be all about. That you can take a state that really has not much to shout about and give it everything to shout about for one fall Saturday afternoon. And the truth is, one game's at 11, the other's at 2:30 in the afternoon. You could probably make both games. You wouldn't see the games in their entirety, but you could hop from one town to the next. I mean, it can't be that far, can it? Or just hop a plane. You're that big of a fan. Ole Miss and Mississippi State finally have something to shout about in the same season on the same day. 4 of the nation's, 25% of the nation's top 12 teams, all undefeated, playing in the state of Mississippi in the same day. Congratulations, Mississippi. State of Mississippi. It's a big day down there tomorrow. Big day. The Cardinals' playoff roster, if you haven't heard, does not include Kevin Segrist. There's a lot of overhauling done on this Cardinal team from last season's World Series team. It's likely that Pete Cosmo will start at second base Friday. People say, why? Well, he's 4 for 8, and I think 3 of those 4 hits are doubles against Clayton Kershaw. Not many hitters can say that. So it's likely that he'll be starting. Now, he was the starting shortstop for the Cardinals in last year's playoffs. Given up for dead this year. Came back and played well down the stretch when he was called up in September. And will likely get the start on Friday. But you have a completely different cast. Right field is likely to be manned by Randall Grichuk, a guy who's been up and down all year, as opposed to Carlos Beltran. I mentioned second base with Cosma. Last year's second base was an all-star Carpenter. Then you had another all-star third base in David Freese, who's no longer with the team. You've got Molina struggling offensively from a year ago. He's not the same right now because of that thumb. So this is a very different team than entered the playoffs last year, and not for the better. Cardinals did not improve themselves in the offseason, and you can also add that Michael Wacha will not be starting games. He'll be in the bullpen. So a lot of things have changed for the Cardinals, and I don't see much of it that is beneficial. And the Angels will open the playoffs with half of the Cardinals' playoff heroes from the past few years, Freese and Pujols, in their lineup. Berkman, of course, is retired. Beltran is with the Yankees and Craig with the Red Sox, so none of them are even in the playoffs. But I would think you'd feel a lot more comfortable if you had Freese in your lineup tomorrow night, instead of Cosma. It's a bizarre thing, and it appears that Colton Wong is locked firmly in the doghouse of Mike Matheny. At least to this point, it appears that way. Nobody knows how that goes throughout the series. Zach Greinke pitching the second game. A right-hander would seem to give the nod to Colton Wong at that point, but you never know. You never know with Mike Matheny. So who knows what the lineup's going to look like, and that's really not a good thing coming into the playoffs. I don't think so anyway. Wouldn't you like to have a set lineup? Well, the Cardinals don't have that. They just don't. But I'll tell you what, Zycan Exteriors is right there at the ready for you, because right now, the next 45 days are key days if you think you may have roof damage. Any damage from the storms of this year, including the last 24 hours, are going to be looked at completely differently in 2015 by the insurance company, because they changed the stipulations on what they consider damage, and it makes getting a full roof replacement that much harder to be approved. So now is the time. If you had damage with the high winds in November and February, or the last 4 weeks, anybody in Chesterfield, Baldwin, Manchester, Olivet, with all those storms and hail, this is the time to get it inspected for free, and Zycan Exteriors will do that. 636-345-6873. 636-645-6873. Locally owned. They're not one of these fly-by-night operations. No, sir. But they are all over the place right now. Be careful. Zycan Exteriors has an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau, and they'll give you that free roof inspection. Call them. It doesn't cost you a nickel, but you can relax going into the winter once you know the truth. Free damage inspection, 636-345-6873. They'll go up on the roof. They'll meet with your insurance company, go up on the roof together. They'll take the grief out of dealing with your insurance company for it. They did it for me. I got a full roof replacement thanks to wind damage. All upgraded Owens Corning shingles. And you get a second estimate. You get a second inspection from your insurance company. Even if they've told you only get a partial, don't buy that. Call Zycan Exteriors. The last 11 times that's happened, they've gone out and met the insurance company and gotten a full roof replacement. One guy was turned down twice, and they still got him a full roof replacement. 636-345-6873. When no one else can, Zycan Exteriors. Call them today. Get that free inspection. Cost you nothing. All right, we're going to take a break. This is the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court coming your way live from the Tilted Kilt in St. Charles. Back with more after this.
I see trouble coming, baby.
Finally, the holidays are over, and I have a few New Year's resolutions for you to start 2014 off right. When your sex life is great, life seems great, and it's a fact that people who have sexual stimulation 4 or more times a week, according to Oxford University, are happier, more confident, and make more money. You might not be able to have more sex or even have a partner at this time, but the key word was stimulation. Pure pleasure at any of their 5 locations near you in St. Louis, St. Peters, Pevely, St. Charles, Falls and Fairview Heights, Illinois, can help you with a variety of toys, DVDs, and other items to help in this area. Pure Pleasure locations are ready to serve you and have what you need to make 2014 happier and more productive in many ways. There's nothing embarrassing or more natural than sex and the desire for it. And better sex is something Pure Pleasure can help you with today. Stop by any of their 5 area locations or visit PurePleasureSTL.com. PurePleasureSTL.com.
When you are referred to a particular business or organization by a friend, you know that person had a very good experience or the referral would never have happened. And who is the most referred funeral home here in St. Louis? Cutis. I'm Kathy Cutis, and here at Cutis Funeral Homes, we have been doing business with the same families for generations. And when we serve a new family, more often than not, it is because of the information they received from our previous patrons. At Cutis, you will find we are not owned by a large outside conglomerate. We are not governed by the high prices necessary to pay for those out-of-town salaries and offices. Cutis Funeral Homes are locally owned and operated, proudly serving our community for over 100 years, with plans to serve your family in the next generation. Cutis Funeral Home, affordability with dignity since 1910.
Locally owned and operated Cutis Funeral Homes with 3 locations, South City, Afton, and South County.
The USO of Missouri brings you the Red, Rock, and Blue Benefit Concert Sunday, November 16th at the Pageant. Tickets on sale now while they last to see Scotty McCreery along with Danielle Bradbury, country's newest superstars and winner of Season 10's American Idol and The Voice's Season 4. Together, VIP, general admission, and balcony seats. Call Ticketmaster or the Pageant box office today. The Red, Rock, and Blue Concert to benefit the USO of Missouri with Scotty McCreery and Danielle Bradbury live at the Pageant Theater Sunday, November 16th.
Fall is the best time of year to golf in the STL. The weather is enjoyable and the courses are ready for you. Hopefully you have figured out those flaws in your game. Making a tee time is as easy as checking out the course of interest. Click, pay, and save $10 for using golfaroundstl.com. Go to one of the many courses that subscribe to golfaroundstl.com on their website. Choose your tee time and enter the code 590. That's 590 and get $10 off your game. It's that simple. Golfaroundstl.com tee times must be scheduled within 7 days of the reservation. Use the 590 code and the discount will be applied at the pro shop when you check in for your round. This offer cannot be used with any other promotion, and you must have your reservation at the time of check-in. Any question about the service can be directed to golfer at MidwestGolfNetwork.com. GolfAroundSTL.com saves you time and money. Try it today.
Hello, gorgeous. Bare Minerals just won its 9th Glammy Award for Best Prestige Foundation. And to celebrate, we're offering risk-free trials of Bare Minerals makeup to all women nationwide. That's right, every woman who calls right now can get a full-size, risk-free trial of Bare Minerals makeup, plus a free 5-piece makeup set. For yours, call 1-800-605-9625. This is an exclusive radio-only offer you don't want to miss. Bare Minerals Foundation gives you flawlessly beautiful coverage with a no-makeup feel, and it's clinically proven to promote clearer, healthier-looking skin. No wonder it's won 9 Glammys in a row, and now you can try Bare Minerals makeup for yourself. Call now to find out how you can participate in our nationwide risk-free trial and join the millions who've already tried Bare Minerals makeup and fallen in love with their skin again. Plus, we'll send you a free 5-piece makeup set, our gift to you. Hurry, don't miss this exclusive radio-only offer. 1-800-605-9625. 1-800-605-9625.
590 KFNS, Wood River, St. Louis.
Sports Talk Radio.
This is the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court on 590 The Man.
And we welcome you back in. Kevin Slaten with you in the Pabst Blue Ribbon Gateway Buick GMC Kings Court. Our lines are always open at 314-399-8923. We're live at the Tilted Kilt in St. Charles, Highway 94 and Country Club Plaza. 45 flat screen HD TVs, 4 on each side of the bar. Double happy hours from 3 to 6 and 9 to midnight. The world-famous Tilted Kilt girls are here. All of your football and baseball playoffs, including the beginning of the hockey season, are all available here to watch at the Tilted Kilt, your sports headquarters. Doesn't get any better. Hey, folks, our good friends at Gateway Buick GMC want you to know this. They understand credit issues. Everybody has them these days because of the economy and the fact of unemployment and some people losing a job and having to wait and get rehired somewhere else. So sometimes credit scores take a hit. At Gateway Buick GMC, they understand that. And so they give you this guaranteed credit approval. I said it right. Guaranteed credit approval. So don't beat yourself up. If you need a car, go to Gateway Buick GMC where they'll guarantee credit approval. And listen to these deals. $12,000 off on all Buick LaCrosses. $12,000 off on all Enclaves. $7,000 off on all Encores, all 2014 models. Over 200 used cars in stock. And October 18th, they're having their first annual car show at Gateway Buick GMC. Canned food drive, a 50-50 drawing, which will benefit backstoppers. And they'll have food on the premises for anyone that's coming out there, any of the customers that come out. Great stuff going on at Gateway Buick GMC, 270 and McDonald Boulevard in Hazelwood, where they've always been. Gateway Buick GMC, we are professional grade. All right, Cardinals and Dodgers don't play until tomorrow. It must be hell sitting around. You've watched all these games going on. The phenomenal Royals win over the A's. The dominating performance by Madison Bumgarner and the Giants over the Pirates. 2 more games tonight. And then the Cardinals get around to playing tomorrow. It's crazy that they have to sit around that long. But the rest, as you heard Brian Boehringer say earlier, probably does Yadier Molina the best. I wonder how it will mess with most of the pitchers. Lackey and Miller especially won't be getting starts until a little bit late, meaning they've had a heck of a lot of rest. And I don't know if that's always good. We saw Volquez pitch on a lot of extra rest last night and get pounded. Sometimes it helps. Sometimes it doesn't. Hey, up in Michigan with all the craziness going on there, the lousy play on the field, the miscommunication, they call it, with regard to the quarterback getting dinged in the head, and yet them sending him back into the game. There's all kinds of calls for Dave Brandon, the athletic director, and Brady Hoke, the football coach, to be gone. Well, today, Dave Brandon, the athletic director, said he's not even considering resigning, nor is he considering firing football coach Brady Hoke. Now, Dan Deerdorf said something, and of course he is a Michigan alum. He said something when we had him on the show a few weeks ago, that it's going to be very difficult for the Rust Belt states, the Michigans, the Ohio states, to keep players at home when they can go to Florida, Florida State, warm weather cities. He doesn't feel that kids look at playing near home as a great advantage anymore. He's probably right. For the most part, I would think he's absolutely correct. If it's true, though, if he's right on with that assessment, this Michigan downturn into one of the weaklings of the Big Ten isn't temporary. If he's right, this could be dastardly for the hopes of the Michigan states, the Ohio states. And remember, Michigan's competing with those two schools mostly for players. Last year, Michigan State had a great team. Don't know yet this year. Their second half collapse against Oregon. Since it was at Oregon, it's hard to quantify that. They've beaten a lot of weak sisters otherwise. But that all changes this weekend because there are some great matchups in college football. I talked about the Big Four. The Big Four teams playing in the state of Mississippi, which I think is one of the most exciting days for college football in its history. When you can take a state like Mississippi that is not an economically viable state and raise it to the level that it's being raised this weekend, simply because of college football, that's a wonderful thing. But Texas A&M at Mississippi State, number 6 against number 12. And then third-ranked Alabama at number 11, Ole Miss, later in the day. aren't the only two great matchups. Tonight you've got Arizona at Oregon. Last year, Arizona pounded the Ducks. You've got Florida at Tennessee. Another great matchup. Oklahoma at TCU. Stanford at Notre Dame. Notre Dame is a home underdog. That's pretty wild. LSU is at Auburn. Texas Tech at Kansas State. These are all Saturday games. Arizona State at Southern Cal. Nebraska at Michigan State. Utah at UCLA. I'll tell you what. For the middle of the season, and we are already, by the way, in the middle of the college football season, if you can believe that. Those are fantastic matchups for one Saturday. But to me, the state of Mississippi has the spotlight on it brightest. And I think that's exciting for college football. I truly do. Just like it's exciting for Kansas City with the Royals doing what they're doing. It's exciting for Oakland that an underwhelming financial situation doesn't keep the A's from getting to the playoffs year in and year out. I'm sure they look at this as a disappointing season because they lost the play-in game. But I wouldn't. Anytime that franchise gets in the playoffs, it's spectacular. Donovan McNabb said earlier today on NBC Sports Radio that he thinks John Lester will go to the Cubs. He'll leave the A's and go to the Cubs. I don't buy that for a second. Lester's too old for the Cubs plans. They're looking at a year or two from now. And by that time, Lester won't be worth keeping around. I think Lester's headed back to Boston. Or if the Red Sox don't want to pay him gazillions, he'll go somewhere that, like the Yankees, that will. Although the Yankees pitching is not their problem. It's hitting. Let's see how those teams retool compared to how the Cardinals didn't add and didn't replace what they lost. Now, people say, well, they still won their division. Their division's terrible. That's why they won their division. The National League is terrible. Are the Cardinals a legitimate World Series winner? I don't believe so. With regard to this domestic violence, sexual assault stuff going on in the NFL, we have another case of it. C.J. Spillman of the Cowboys has been accused of sexual assault. Investigation's ongoing. No charge, no arrest. The Cowboys got it right. He's going to keep playing, and he should. He has been cooperative with the police, according to the investigators. Jason Garrett hit it right on the nose, the head coach, when he said the due process doesn't even begin to enter the picture until there's been a charge or an arrest. And he's right. Truthfully, due process doesn't actually start until there's been an arrest. Now, to allow him to play when there's no charge and no arrest, I think is the perfectly legitimate thing to do. I agree with San Francisco, allowing McDonald to continue to play. He's been arrested but not charged. What happens if he's not charged, by the way? Does he have a case for false arrest? Be interesting to see if he pushed that. So this is the best time for sports, and we've got it all going on here at the Tilted Kilt. In case you're wondering, the Tigers and Orioles have already started. Already 3 home runs in the first 2 innings. It's a 2-2 ball game. So Mercenary Max Scherzer hasn't been too impressive so far. Neither has Chris Tillman. I think the NFL game to watch this week is not the Rams at Philadelphia. The Rams coming off their bye week, and they're playing a pretty beaten-up Eagles team. If you look at the schedule in the early part of the year, the Eagles notched this one up as a win, I can guarantee you, but they are beaten up. Their offensive line is street free agents right now. And they've got to have offensive line play for them to be successful. That's just simple. They have to have it, or they're in deep trouble. And they've been beaten up. But they do have the electrifying Darren Sproles. Let's see what he does against the Rams on Sunday. But the San Francisco-Kansas City game has my interest. I said at the time that Jim Harbaugh set Alex Smith free and traded him to Kansas City, that I thought that was a bad thing on the part of Harbaugh, a guy that I do respect. But when your quarterback takes you into the NFC Championship game and the next year in Game 4 gets a concussion and has to miss a couple games, 2 or 3 games, and when he's ready to come back, you say, no, we're going to go with Kaepernick. I don't see how players in that 49er locker room can respect that, because he'll do the same thing to them. To me, it would be very difficult to get your players to play for you when you do something like that. And since the trade, Alex Smith's team, the Chiefs, have gone 13-6. Kaepernick's 49ers have gone 14-6. They played one more game. Kaepernick has thrown 27 touchdown passes. Alex Smith, 30. Smith has only thrown 10 interceptions to Kaepernick's 12. They've both completed passes about the same percentage. So while it's close, Smith has played better. Who's had the better supporting cast? Clearly Kaepernick. Both have good running backs. But Kaepernick has Anquan Bolden, Vernon Davis, Michael Crabtree, now Stevie Johnson to throw to. Who does Smith have? Bo, when he's not being suspended. Kelsey, the tight end, but he's just the Johnny-come-lately. Both have had good defensive teams. Now, if you don't think there's extra motivation for Alex Smith Sunday, I don't know. I do think there is. Just as I think Clayton Kershaw, if he needs extra motivation, has it against the Cardinals. And there's nothing worse than giving him extra motivation. But I think the focus on Matt Holliday in this playoffs is a very important one. Bernie wrote a good column about it, and I concur with him, and I have all along. The only difference is that I think Holliday has been a failure for $17 million a year. Postseason numbers are horrific. 48 games, 249 average, 7 home runs, 8 doubles, 23 RBIs, 222 with runners in scoring position. And he skipped out on Game 7 of the 2011 World Series because of a sore pinky. Keep in mind, that was with a lot of protection around him in the lineup. He still couldn't perform in the playoffs. At one time or another, he had any combination of 2 or 3 or 4 of these guys hitting around him in the lineup. Pujols, Berkman, Freese, Beltran, Craig at his best. Last year he had Beltran, Craig, and Freese. The year before, Beltran, Craig, and Freese. The year before that, Pujols, Freese, Craig, Berkman. And now, is Holliday up to carrying the Cardinals' offense? That's the question. I tend to think no. Hey, do you know that we have the 2 largest boot stores in the world right here in our town? Chuck's Boots, one in Fenton on Gravois, the other on Mid-Rivers Mall Drive in St. Peter's, right off of Highway 70. Each of the stores has between 40,000 and 50,000 pairs of boots. They've got all kinds of boots. Work boots, Western boots, motorcycle boots, uniform boots, hiking boots. But they also have this, women's fashion jeans. All the top names, Miss Me, Rock Revival, Silver Jean Company. And at Chuck's Boots, they guarantee you the lowest price on women's fashion jeans with thousands of pairs in stock. Thousands. Now, you won't get that at the department stores or the jean stores. You won't have that much to pick from, but you do at Chuck's Boots, and he guarantees the lowest prices. All the popular brands and styles of every boot category and great accessories. Work jackets, work bibs, work pants, work shirts. Western boots, but Western shirts, jeans, hats, belts, and jewelry. Shoot, they have over 10,000 pairs of women's cowboy boots alone. Men, of course, and women, they have the alligator, lizard, ostrich, snakeskin, eel, stingray. Largest selection of motorcycle bags, chaps, jackets, vests, and helmets in our town. That's Chuck's Boots, the two largest boot stores in the world. One in Fenton on Gravois, the other in St. Peter's on Mid-River Small Drive, just off of Highway 70. All right, folks, that's going to wrap us up for the moment live from the Tilted Kilt, where they have 45 flat screen HD TVs. They have the Tilted Kilt Girls. They have breakfast on every NFL Sunday, opening at 10 o'clock. They have 2 happy hours every day from 3 to 6 and 9 to midnight. What more do you want? 4 45-inch flat screen HD TVs on each side of the bar. Wow. Our Window World Rewind is going to come up here in a few minutes. Brought to you by the good folks at Window World. 314-993-1800 will get you a free in-home estimate. Any size, white vinyl, double-hung windows from Window World. The Rewind will be Brian Boehringer, the Arizona Diamondback scout, former pitcher for the Yankees and Padres in 2 different World Series. And he will break down all of the division series for you. I think you want to hear what Bo has to say because he's right on target.